Hey there, Tad Argray from Marketing for Hippies. Tonight's video is about the number of presentations you should do when you're just starting out. So this is something I've been talking about a lot with some of my clients who realize I should just get it in a can. This is my place I'm living in, Victoria, right now, and I think it's only my second video I've done here. So here's the idea. This is the question I'd ask you. If you had a chance to do one presentation for 1,000 people, 10 presentations for 100 people, or 100 presentations for 10 people, what do you think you should do? Now, the answer seems obvious. Well, if you could do one presentation for 10 people, that's better, because that's higher leverage. You know, you spend 1 hour, you reach 1,000 people versus obviously 100 hours reaching 1,000 people. You know, to spend 100 hours reaching 1,000 people, that's 100 times more hours than 1 hour reaching 1,000 people. So why would you spend literally 100, not 100%, 100 times more time to achieve the same result? So here's what I'd say. It really depends when you are in your business. If you are a veteran in your business, you've been doing it for a long time, I'm talking 10, 20 years, you've really got your chops, you've got your point of view figured out and dialed. At that point in your business, just do the one presentation for 1,000 people. You don't mess around. You don't need to do a lot of small presentations. You do get to a point in your business where you're done doing the small crowds, the workshops in people's living rooms, the little event at the bookstore. There is a point you just get tired of it, and you don't have the time. Maybe you got a family, you don't want to be on the road all the time, so you don't do those events anymore. But when you're starting, there's something about paying your dues, but not just, it's more that if somebody's just starting, I would recommend do 100 presentations for 10 people. Do a lot of small ones. Why? Why would I suggest that? Because in the beginning, you're still figuring out your point of view. In the beginning, you're still figuring out how you see things. In the beginning, you're still figuring out how to articulate it. And if you start off and you're a rookie, you're a noob in business, and then you do that one presentation for 1,000 people, you could screw it up. There's every chance that is not going to be the best presentation it could, because why? You haven't done it enough to work it through. I had a business shortly after high school, right out of high school actually, called the School Revolution. I did workshops around school spirit, that kind of thing. And I did a day-long workshop that I designed. I did it about 80 times over the years. And I'll tell you what, by those last 10 or 20, I felt just bulletproof walking up. You know, and I was talking to a group of like junior high and high schools. Can you imagine walking in front of a group of 12 to 17-year-olds and trying to hold them all day long? I'll tell you, it's not easy. And I got there. I figured it out. I figured out the way to do it. And it was an incredible day. I felt so good. I felt so solid about it. And the day-long workshop I do now, the Marketing for Hippies 101, I don't know how many times I've done it. I've really lost track, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's 100 at this point. I don't need notes. I can just stand up at the front and talk. I feel very solid about it. But I remember years ago, the good Andrew Resmer in Vancouver with Conscious Business Radio, or I think it was called, he interviewed me. And after the interview, I felt so disappointed with myself. Because I just, sometimes you know when you hit it and you know when you didn't hit it. And I left, I felt like I was so scattered and all over the place. And there's a good reason for it, because I was scattered and all over the place. I didn't have a coherent point of view. I didn't have all my thoughts organized. And so I was given this beautiful opportunity, and I felt like I squandered it. So you don't want to do that. If there's a big opportunity, somebody says, hey, let me put you on stage in front of 1,000 people, and you've never done it before. I would rather, if there's the option, say, hey, can I come back in a few years? Let me work this stuff out before I hit the stage. There's a great video with Ben Kingsley. I'll see if I can find the link and put it below, where he's talking to a young acting student about that desire to get on the stage and be seen and, you know, give me the big roles and all this. And it's so utterly understandable, and it's usually so utterly misguided. So I'd watch that video too. But yeah, if you're just starting, try doing 100 workshops for 10 people. Somewhere in the middle, yeah, you do 10 workshops for 100 people each in a year. And at the top, you maybe just do the one presentation for 1,000 people. I mean, of course, if you can do a lot of presentations for 1,000 people, all right. But trying to give you a sense of the ratio. So hopefully that's helpful. In the beginning, do this a lot. Say yes to everyone. There are lots of examples of this. Byron Katie, when she first started out, the woman who wrote Loving What Is, she basically just said, I'll say yes to anyone who asks. And she literally went into people's living rooms and would do these workshops. So when you're starting, say yes. You know, really, it could be just a little community center. It could be in a church. It could be a tiny group, a conference call. Just say yes. What you're saying yes to is not just that request. You're saying yes to the chance to further articulate, hone, refine your own understanding and your capacity to give words to it, to give voice to it. So anyways, I think I've made my point. Hopefully that's helpful. Maybe give some context. Hopefully you can see yourself in it and know where you might fit in that. If you have any questions about this, put them in the comments below. Of course, you can subscribe to my channel here on YouTube with a little red button, and then click the bell icon. You'll be notified when I post new videos. I've got a website, marketingforhippies.com. You can check that out, join the email list. And of course, I'm on Facebook, and that's my main social media, my Facebook page, Marketing for Hippies. And if you like this video, please share it. You must be in Facebook groups where you have like-minded people, so please share it on your profile or in a Facebook group or on your, well, wherever you think it might be useful. That's all. Thank you so much.